Hello, Stampin' friends, and welcome. This is Dee Osburn, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today, we'll be making this great vintage thank you card using a variety of Stampin' Up products. So if you like this video as you go along, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos. If you would leave a comment, and let me know how you like this video, I'll be sure and comment back to you. I will comment back to everyone who leaves a comment. Everything that you need to make this card will be listed in the description below, along with sizes, measurements, so that you know exactly how to make this card. If you want to go to my website to see a complete look at all the products currently available, that website is www.beststamping.stampinup.net. And don't forget, it is Sale-a-bration, so for every $50 that you order, Stampin' Up! Allows you to order a free item from the Sale-a-bration catalog. If you need a catalog, make sure you comment below, and I'll be happy to send you one. So let's get started. Let's look at what we're going to use to make this card today. We're going to be using the new Ranunculus Romance Stamp set. Isn't it beautiful? As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. I absolutely love this flower. And it has so many nice elements. As soon as I saw it, it just screamed vintage to me, because we're going to be using this stamp as a part of our on our card. It just gives it a very vintagey look. This stamp, we're going to be using this stamp and this stamp, as well as the flower itself. We will be using 2 die sets today. We'll be using Amazing Thanks die set. And we will also be using the Ranunculus dies that go along with the Ranunculus Romance. And these are the dies that come in that set, as well as the one that cuts out the flower, which is right here. Okay, so this is the die set that you get with the Ranunculus Romance bundle. So if you get the bundle, then you get a savings. When you bundle, there's a savings. So that's the Ranunculus dies, and it goes with the Ranunculus Romance stamp set. So let's look at what else we're going to need. Like I said, we'll be using the thanks from the Amazing Thanks die set. We're going to be using some diamond cut ribbon. It's a very vanilla. I believe this is a retired product, but there is another very vanilla ribbon that you can use. It's called Very Vanilla Scalloped Lace Trim, and that is a current product, so you could use that, and I think it would be absolutely beautiful on this card. I didn't have any, so I used this, but I think it would be even prettier because it's a lighter ribbon, and I think it would be absolutely beautiful with this card. We're going to be using several inks. We'll be using Sahara Sand. We'll be using Crumb Cake. I think I need a new one. Mine's getting... I've had this one for almost a decade now. The inks and the stamp sets really do last forever. You just get the re-inkers, and I tell you what, they last forever. Pear Pizzazz, and also Rich Razzleberry. So those are the 4 inks that we'll be using. We'll be using one of these brushes, and I forget what they're called, but I will leave the name and the description down below. Oh, it's a blending brush. That's what it's called. It's a blending brush, and I'll leave all that information down below. You're going to need, for the cardstock, you'll need a piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is one of my favorites. It's such a wonderfully rich, deep color. It goes with so many things. It's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, and you'll need 2 pieces of Very Vanilla cardstock cut at 5 1/4 by 4. One is for the inside, and the other one is what we're going to stamp for the card top. You'll also need a scrap of Very Vanilla to stamp your flowers, and just a little scrap of Blackberry Bliss to cut out your thanks. Okay, now you also, the last thing you're going to need is some glitter. They don't make dazzling diamonds anymore, but you can get glitter. It's fine glitter. You can get it anywhere. And also, I like using my two-way glue pen, which you can get pretty much anywhere as well. All right, let's get started. Let's make this card. All right, let's put this to the side. First thing we're going to do is get our Very Vanilla cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and that's for the card top. And we're going to take our blending brush and we're going to start with Sahara Sand. Let me grab that. You're going to start with Sahara Sand, and you're going to start by blending around the edges. So I'm just going to ink up my brush, and you'll have to re-ink your brush quite often. It doesn't look like there's anything on there, but there is. Always start outside of your card, otherwise it makes like a big blob. I'll show you. If you start right here, see how it just makes a little round dot? You don't want that. Okay, so start on the outside and blend in. Okay, and I'm going to keep coming back and re-inking, starting on the outside, blending in. I like how it gives the edge of the card a little bit of a darker look. So you're just going to continue to do that all the way around the card. Okay, all the way around the card. It doesn't take but just a minute to do this. As you see, I keep re-inking and going around the card, starting on the outside and coming in. Okay, just keep going all the way around till you get the entire edge inked up. And once you have the entire edge inked, and I'm just turning my card as I go so that I can easily get all of it. Once I get all of that, then I'm just going to kind of brush around the inside. Okay, I'm almost like cleaning my brush off. I'm not re-inking, I'm just pulling that color around the inside of the card. Okay, if you want a little more, you can do that. If you want your card to be a little darker on the edges, you just kind of play with it and get it exactly like you want it. I like the edges to be a little bit dark. There. And then we can kind of blend that around on the inside so that it gives it that nice kind of old paper look, almost, I guess you could say. Kind of vintage, right? So we're going to put the Sahara Sand away. We're done with that. Then we're going to bring in some crumb cake. Open that up. And we're going to use, we're going to do 2 stamps with the crumb cake. Actually, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to do one of those 2 stamps with the Sahara Sand. This long one right here. Okay? And we're going to do that with the Sahara Sand. And we are going to stamp off 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one. And I'm just going along the edge with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm starting 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of darkens that edge just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gives it a little bit of a lacy kind of a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put some in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's no right way to do this or wrong way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just a few. Maybe right here in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then you can use your, and it doesn't look like much yet. Just keep with me. You'll see. Clean your stamps with your Stampin' Scrub. And then I'm going to put my Sahara Sand away and get out my crumb cake. And then I'm going to use this stamp for the crumb cake. And I'm going to ink it and then stamp it off twice and then stamp. So 1, 2, on, 1, 2, on, 1, 2, on, 1, 2, on. Okay, it's starting to come together, isn't it? All right, so then I'm going to put my crumb cake away. I'm all done with crumb cake. And I'm going to get out my Pear Pizzazz. Okay, and with Pear Pizzazz, we're going to use this stamp. It's from the Ranunculus Wonder. And I'm not going to stamp it off. And I'm just going to stamp that on there in a few places, just to give it a little bit of color. Okay, maybe right there, just a little bit. Okay, so that's it for that. And then I'll put that away. And then I'm going to get out my rich razzleberry. And I'm going to use this stamp. And I'm going to stamp it off twice. No, 3 times. And then I'm going to stamp it. So 1, 2, 3, stamp. 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 And I'm just stamping this all over. 1, 2, 3, stamp. 1, 2, 3, stamp. And I don't really need to get a whole lot in the middle because, I'm going to have a flower right there. And maybe I'll put just a hint of it right there and right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to put that away. Now I have my background all stamped. So now I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to ink it up with the rich razzleberry and stamp it on a scrap and then go cut it out. Okay, which I've already done. I did that in advance. So I have the 2 already cut out. Okay, so I'll put that away. And then I'm going to take my thanks die and I'm going to use a scrap of Blackberry Bliss cardstock and cut out the thanks, which I also have already done just to save a little bit of time. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to push that aside and we're going to take our, take a piece of our ribbon, okay, and we're going to trim it. Okay, so that it's, right about the length that we want. And then we're going to put our flowers on. Okay, so we're going to pop those up. We're going to get some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we are going to put a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Okay, so right there and right there. And then right there. And right there. Okay. And I'm going to pull the backs off of those. And then I kind of want to stagger, I guess, if that's the right word, the 2 flowers so that one of them is a little lower than the other one. Okay. And then I will put it on my card right there. Okay. Then I'm going to use glue and I'm going to glue this down at the bottom of it. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put some multi-purpose glue along the top, just a thin little line along the top and along the bottom. And I'm going to trim this ribbon once I get it stuck down, okay? So I'm going to put it on there. I guess I need to cover it right there, okay? So I'm going to, and it's going to pop up, so you're going to have to kind of play with it and hold it down a little bit. And if the glue gushes out, just use your finger and, wipe it up. Okay. So I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit. And it's okay if it gushes out a little bit, you just tidy it up. Okay. All right, so now I have that stuck down. I'm going to pick up the whole thing and I'm going to turn it over and trim the ribbon. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. All right, and then trim this side so that it's nice and flush with the card. Okay. So pretty. All right, now we can, while that's drying a little bit, we can go ahead and deal with our card base. So we are going to fold it in half, get our bone folder, and make a nice crisp fold. We can take our piece that we cut for our inside and we'll glue it inside. Now the other thing you can do if you'd like is take that same blending brush with some rich raspberry and go around the edge. I did not do that on here, but if you like that look, that's a way that you can just step it up just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. And this is where I'll write my message to whoever I send this to. And now I have my beautiful card that I can glue this onto. So now that's what I'm going to do next. You could pop this up if you wanted. That might step it up just a little bit, right? But I am going to lay it down flat since I already have this element. I'm going to lay it down flat. Sorry, you couldn't see that. It's because I already have this popped up. So, when you mail these things, the more thickness that you have, the harder it's going to be to mail and the more it's going to cost you. So just keep that in mind. You could pop it up. I think popping it up would give it some dimension and step it up a little bit. We're going to do that. Okay. And then we're going to take our thanks that I cut out. What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at the top of the word, the top of the T. My glue's not cooperating with me. Put a little bit at the top of the T. Sometimes you have to tap it when it's getting low. The top of the H and the top of the K. All right. Just a little bit. You don't need much. And then I'm going to glue it to my ribbon. I'm just going to hold it there for just a second so that it gets stuck nicely. Okay. And then the last thing we're going to do, oh, it's coming out so pretty. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our two-way glue pen and we're going to put just some glue around the flower, just here and there. There's no right or wrong way to do it. In the center and a couple on some of the leaves around. And then, wait, I didn't get this flower. Okay. And then we'll take our glitter and we'll put some glitter on this guy. Dump the excess off. Tap, tap, tap. Get all that off of there. And there we have it. And it's all glittery and shiny. I don't know if you can see it on camera, the glitter. Maybe, oh yeah, you can see it right there a little bit. But it is just beautiful with the glitter on there. I love it. So there's a nice little thank you using the Ranunculus Romance. There's all kinds of dies that Stampin' Up! Has that would have different sentiments. There's one I think that says love. There's all kinds. But I like thanks. I send a lot of thank you notes, and so I did a thanks. And this flower is absolutely beautiful. So I hope you have enjoyed this vintage card using Ranunculus Romance and the amazing thanks dies. If you liked this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell if you want to be notified when I upload more videos. And leave me a comment. Let me know how you liked it, and I'll be sure and comment back to you. So remember, it is Celebration. All orders of $50 or more. Stampin' Up! Allows you to order something free from the Celebration catalog. And all orders of $40 or more will receive a bonus gift from me. So I hope you've enjoyed this and have a great day. See you next time.